Welcome, esteemed gentlemen. In a world where everyone dances to society's tune, the Sigma male rewrites the rhythm, often sounding more like a machine than a man. There's something enigmatic about the Sigma male, isn't there? They navigate life with laser focus, seemingly unbothered by the chaos around them, almost like they've been programmed to prioritize efficiency over emotion. While the rest of us wrestle with awkward small talk and the occasional emotional meltdown, Sigmas glide through life with an almost unsettling calm. It's no wonder they're often labeled as robotic, but is there more to it than meets the eye? Interestingly, studies show that individuals who rely heavily on logic and introspection often appear emotionally distant to others. This isn't necessarily a flaw, it's just a different operating system, and with Sigma males, it's as if they're running on the latest software update while the rest of us are still buffering through life. But what is it about their behavior that triggers this robotic perception? Is it their ability to remain detached in the most chaotic of situations? Their minimalist approach to social interaction? Or maybe it's the way they quietly dismantle societal norms, all while sipping their coffee in a corner. Let's dive in and decode the mystery of why Sigma males seem so, well, machine-like. Don't worry, it's not completely science fiction, or is it? Or, Number 1, efficient decision-making eliminates unnecessary emotion. Sigma males are masters of efficient decision-making, which often makes them appear cold and robotic to others. For them, every choice is a puzzle to be solved, not a matter to be weighed down by emotional baggage. Where most people might deliberate endlessly or allow their feelings to cloud their judgment, Sigmas cut through the noise with razor-sharp logic. They evaluate situations based on facts, outcomes, and efficiency, removing unnecessary sentiment from the equation. This isn't to say they lack emotions, they feel as deeply as anyone else, but they've trained themselves to not let those feelings interfere with what needs to be done. If a decision is uncomfortable but necessary, they'll make it without hesitation. While others might agonize over hurting someone's feelings or second-guessing themselves, Sigmas have already moved on, confident that their choice was the most logical one. To outsiders, this can seem mechanical. People are used to seeing hesitation, emotion, or vulnerability when decisions are made, as these are considered human traits. But a Sigma's ability to remain composed and detached in the face of difficult choices defies that expectation. This gives them an aura of unshakable focus, but it also creates a distance between them and others who rely on emotional cues to connect. This hyper-efficient approach often shines in high-pressure situations. When others are panicking, Sigmas are calmly analyzing the problem, identifying solutions, and acting without wasting time. It's not arrogance. It's simply their natural way of operating. Yet this same efficiency can make them seem intimidating, even alien, to people who value empathy over logic. Their decisions may seem robotic, but in reality, they're just stripped of the emotional clutter that most people cling to. It's clarity, not coldness, though it's easy to mistake one for the other. At number 2, a quiet defiance of human imperfection. Sigma males are often driven by an almost obsessive desire to perfect themselves, striving to eliminate every flaw, inefficiency, or emotional vulnerability they see in themselves. While this relentless pursuit of self-improvement is admirable, it can make them seem inhumanly precise and calculated. They're not just trying to be better, they're trying to transcend what they perceive as the messy, unpredictable imperfections of typical human behavior. This drive for perfection affects every part of their lives. They carefully monitor their habits, control their emotions, and refine their thinking processes to operate as smoothly and effectively as possible. To them, mistakes are not just setbacks. They're inefficiencies to be corrected. Emotional outbursts? A waste of energy. Indecision? A failure of clarity. These aren't things they tolerate in themselves, and they work tirelessly to eliminate them. But this quest for perfection comes with a cost. In their effort to rise above the chaos of human nature, Sigma males can distance themselves from the very things that make them relatable. People around them may feel unsettled by their unwavering composure or their refusal to give in to the emotional impulses that most consider natural. To some, this level of control feels unnatural, almost robotic, as if they're striving to become something more machine than man. Yet this isn't about superiority or arrogance. It's about control. Sigma males don't fear failure or emotion, but they refuse to be ruled by them. They see the flaws in themselves and in humanity, and they strive to overcome them, no matter how much effort it takes. This desire to outgrow their own limitations makes them fascinating and formidable, but it can also make them seem disconnected, like they've stepped outside the realm of ordinary human experience in their quest to master it. Number 3. Analytical communication style. Sigma males are known for their analytical communication style, which often prioritizes precision and efficiency over emotional expression. They don't waste words or engage in unnecessary embellishments, focusing instead on conveying their message in the clearest, most logical way possible. This straightforwardness can make their speech feel sharp and purposeful, but it also has a tendency to come across as cold or overly calculated. Their approach to communication is rooted in their preference for logic. To them, words are tools for transferring information, not for emotional expression or social rituals. While many people rely on tone, inflection, and expressive language to create connections, Sigmas strip away the fluff to get straight to the point. This no-nonsense style can feel refreshing to those who value clarity, but it may alienate those who expect warmth or emotional resonance in a conversation. What makes this analytical style so striking is its consistency. Sigma males don't soften their communication just to make others feel more comfortable. They stick to the facts and deliver their thoughts with a level of detachment that some might mistake for indifference. This doesn't mean they're unfeeling. It simply reflects their preference for function over form. The downside is that this approach can make them seem more robotic than relatable. In casual settings where people often look for humor, empathy, or shared vulnerability, a Sigma's hyperlogical speech can feel out of place. But this isn't a failure on their part. It's a deliberate choice. They'd rather be understood than adored, and they value substance over style in every interaction. While this can create an air of mystery or detachment, it's also what makes their words carry weight. When a Sigma male speaks, you know it's worth listening to. At number 4, mastery of self-control can feel mechanical. Sigma males possess an extraordinary level of self-control, a trait that allows them to navigate life with a calmness that can seem almost unearthly. They've mastered the art of emotional discipline, rarely allowing impulses or outbursts to dictate their actions. To them, reacting without thought is a sign of weakness, something they've worked hard to overcome. Instead, they operate with a deliberate, measured approach, carefully choosing their responses in any given situation. This emotional steadiness can be admirable, even enviable, to those who struggle with impulsiveness. However, it can also feel unsettling to others. In a world where most people wear their hearts on their sleeves, laughing, crying, and reacting instinctively, a Sigma's reserved demeanor can come across as unnatural. They don't flinch when provoked, don't celebrate wildly when things go well, and don't crumble under pressure. This unshakable control can make them seem almost inhuman, like they've programmed themselves to suppress their emotions entirely. But their restraint isn't about repression, it's about intentionality. Sigma males understand the power of emotions and the chaos they can bring when left unchecked. Rather than denying their feelings, they channel them into productive outcomes. Whether it's turning anger into motivation or suppressing anxiety to focus on solutions, they view emotional discipline as a strength, not a burden. The trade-off, however, is that this discipline can create a barrier between them and others. People often rely on emotional expressions to connect, and a Sigma's lack of outward reaction can feel distant or cold. To those who thrive on spontaneity, their behavior might seem mechanical, as if they're living by a script rather than embracing the unpredictability of life. But for Sigmas, it's not about rejecting humanity, it's about mastering it. Number 5. Hyper-optimization of routines. Sigma males have a relentless drive to perfect their routines, often building their lives around peak productivity and efficiency. To them, time is a non-renewable resource, and wasting it is akin to failure. Every habit, every action, every decision is carefully evaluated for its value and effectiveness. This hyper-optimization isn't just a preference, it's a way of life. They approach their daily routines like engineers fine-tuning a machine. They eliminate redundancies, avoid distractions, and prioritize tasks with laser focus. Whether it's waking up at the same early hour every day, structuring meals for energy efficiency, or scheduling work sessions for maximum output, their habits are designed with precision. This dedication to routine creates an impression of consistency and control, but it can also make them appear mechanical, as though they're operating on autopilot rather than living spontaneously. What makes this hyper-optimization so striking is how deeply it permeates their lives. Even in areas where most people would prioritize relaxation or enjoyment, Sigma males often seek ways to make things more efficient. Leisure time is planned to recharge them in the most effective way possible. Social interactions are streamlined to minimize unnecessary chatter. This level of control, while impressive, can sometimes make them seem overly rigid or detached from the unpredictability of life. To others, this obsession with optimization might feel robotic, as though they're following preset algorithms rather than acting on human impulses. But for Sigma males, this isn't about becoming a machine. It's about mastering their environment. By removing inefficiencies and distractions, they create the freedom to focus on what truly matters to them. While their routines might lack the spontaneity others crave, they reflect a deeper commitment to living intentionally and on their own terms. Number 6. Minimalistic social engagement. Sigma males approach social engagement with precision and purpose, valuing quality over quantity when it comes to relationships. Unlike alphas who thrive in the spotlight, or betas who often seek comfort in group dynamics, Sigmas are highly selective about their social interactions. They don't shy away from people, but prefer to engage only when the interaction serves a meaningful purpose, be it intellectual growth, collaboration, or genuine connection. This calculated approach means they avoid small talk, superficial connections, or social obligations that feel forced. To them, time and energy are finite resources, and they'd rather focus on activities or people that align with their values. While this mindset ensures they avoid unnecessary drama and maintain a sense of autonomy, it can also create a perception of emotional detachment. Their minimalistic engagement often lacks the spontaneity, warmth, and chaos that make human interaction feel natural. People are used to social cues like playful banter, unplanned laughter, or open emotional exchanges. A Sigma male's precise, often no-nonsense demeanor can come across as overly formal or even mechanical, as if they're analyzing the interaction rather than participating in it. This isn't because they're incapable of warmth. It's simply that they prioritize substance over surface-level pleasantries. This reserved nature can leave others unsure of where they stand. Some may interpret it as disinterest, while others might find it refreshing, a rare authenticity in a world full of performative socializing. However, the downside is that it can make Sigmas feel distant, like they're interacting from behind a veil of calculation rather than immersing themselves fully in the moment. Their minimalistic social style might seem robotic to some, but for Sigmas, it's about cutting through the noise and focusing on connections that truly matter. Number 7. Adaptive personas for contexts. Sigma males possess a remarkable ability to adapt their personas to fit the demands of any situation. They don't cling to a rigid identity, but instead adjust their behavior, tone, and even energy levels depending on the environment. Whether it's presenting a confident front in a professional setting, blending into the background during a social gathering, or adopting a more approachable demeanor in personal relationships, they excel at tailoring themselves to meet the moment. This adaptability is rooted in their acute awareness of social dynamics. They observe, analyze, and intuitively understand what's required to navigate each interaction effectively. For them, it's not about being fake, it's about being efficient. Why use the same approach in every situation when different contexts require different tools? This flexibility allows them to move seamlessly through diverse social landscapes, earning respect in some circles while going unnoticed in others, as they prefer. However, this skill can make their behavior seem calculated or overly intentional, as though they're switching between pre-programmed modes rather than reacting organically. Unlike people who wear their personality on their sleeve, Sigmas present only what's necessary, which can leave others questioning how genuine they really are. To some, their ability to shift personas so fluidly can feel less like adaptability and more like an algorithm responding to inputs. This perception isn't entirely unfounded. Sigmas rarely reveal their inner selves unless absolutely necessary, preferring to control how much of their true personality is visible. This makes their adaptability appear more like a strategy than a natural extension of who they are. While their skill at navigating different scenarios is undeniably effective, it can sometimes create a disconnect, as if they're operating with precision rather than passion. Yet for Sigmas, it's not about being artificial. It's about mastering the art of interaction. Number 8. Rational over empathy in problem solving. Sigma males are first and foremost problem solvers, and when faced with a challenge, they turn to logic before anything else. Their instinct is to break down an issue into its components, analyze the facts, and come up with the most efficient solution. Emotional considerations, while not entirely ignored, are often secondary to the practical realities of the situation. This rational approach to problem solving allows them to act swiftly and decisively, cutting through emotional clutter to focus solely on what needs to be done. For Sigma males, emotions are often viewed as distractions. They recognize their own feelings and those of others, but are trained to not let them interfere with resolving issues. This mindset can be highly effective in situations that demand clear-headed decision-making, like in crises or complex challenges, where quick, reasoned action is essential. They believe that by keeping emotions at bay, they can see the situation more objectively, allowing them to arrive at a solution without the cloud of emotional bias. However, this rational-first approach can make them appear distant or unfeeling to those around them, especially to people who value emotional empathy and connection. For those who expect support, understanding, or even just a listening ear when problems arise, a Sigma's focus on logic can feel cold, even harsh. They're less likely to offer sympathy or validation in the way that others might. Instead, they'll focus on finding a practical solution to the issue at hand, often leaving others feeling as though their emotional needs have been overlooked. This doesn't mean Sigma males are incapable of empathy. They simply prioritize solutions over sentiments. They believe that addressing the root cause is more important than managing emotions in the moment, which can make their problem-solving approach seem robotic to those who need emotional validation before they can move forward. For Sigmas, the resolution is the priority, and everything else is secondary. Number 9. Strategic interaction over spontaneity. Sigma males tend to approach social interactions with an almost surgical precision, where every conversation, meeting, or encounter has a clear purpose or objective in mind. Unlike others who might engage in casual chatter for the sake of connection or amusement, Sigmas view socializing as a strategic activity, an opportunity to learn, grow, or achieve a specific goal. Whether it's gathering information, advancing a personal agenda, or making a meaningful connection, their interactions are rarely spontaneous. Every word, gesture, and response is calculated to move them closer to their intended outcome. This methodical approach can make their social exchanges seem rehearsed or transactional. While many people engage in social situations for enjoyment or the organic flow of conversation, Sigmas see them as a means to an end. They're not interested in wasting time on pleasantries or small talk. Instead, they aim to extract value from each interaction. As a result, their conversations may lack the fluidity and unpredictability that come with more relaxed social exchanges. For those who thrive on the natural rhythm of spontaneous dialogue, this can make Sigmas seem distant or overly formal. While this goal-oriented mindset can be incredibly effective in professional or personal growth contexts, it can also create a sense of detachment. The Sigma male's focus on strategy often eclipses the human warmth that comes with more casual, unstructured interactions. Their social style may appear cold or mechanical to others, as if they're always operating from a script rather than engaging with the ebb and flow of conversation. In this sense, they can come across as less human and more like someone executing a plan, even in seemingly simple exchanges. However, to Sigmas, this is not about being disingenuous. It's about efficiency and intention. They approach socializing as they do everything else, with a sense of purpose and a clear goal in mind. While others might see it as lacking spontaneity or warmth, Sigmas would argue that it's about getting the most out of their time and energy, ensuring that every interaction serves a deeper purpose. Number 10. Innate ability to detach. Sigma males have a unique, almost innate ability to detach themselves from emotionally charged or chaotic situations. When things get heated, others may react with frustration, panic, or anxiety, but a Sigma remains remarkably composed. This skill to compartmentalize their emotions is one of their defining characteristics, enabling them to navigate high-pressure environments with unshakable calm. Whether it's a personal conflict, a workplace crisis, or just the general mess of life, Sigmas don't let emotions cloud their judgment or interfere with their ability to think clearly. They're able to assess a situation from an almost third-party perspective, remaining outside the emotional storm rather than getting swept up in it. However, this ability to detach, while undoubtedly a strength, can also make them seem distant or even indifferent to those around them. In moments where others are looking for empathy or a shared emotional response, a Sigma's stoic demeanor can feel cold or unresponsive. Their focus is always on the bigger picture, solving the problem at hand, rather than offering emotional comfort or validation. This trait, while incredibly effective in stressful situations, can give the impression that they're unfeeling, as if they're operating on autopilot rather than engaging with the emotional undercurrents of the moment. To others, this might seem robotic or mechanical. Emotions are a key part of human interaction, and when a Sigma fails to respond in the way people expect, whether it's with sympathy, outrage, or excitement, it can be disconcerting. But for Sigmas, this detachment is not about a lack of feeling. It's a survival mechanism, a way to preserve their mental clarity and emotional energy. They've learned that when you let emotions take the wheel, they can often lead you astray. So they maintain control, even at the cost of appearing disconnected, because in their minds, it's the most efficient way to deal with life's chaos. In a world that often values emotional expression and spontaneous connection, the Sigma male stands as a paradox, calm, composed, and deeply rational in a sea of unpredictability. Their traits, from their precision in decision-making to their strategic approach to social interactions, may make them appear robotic or detached. But beneath the surface lies a person deeply committed to mastering themselves and their environment. Sigma males are not indifferent to the world around them. They simply choose to engage with it on their own terms, filtering out the noise and focusing on what truly matters. This unique way of navigating life, where emotion takes a backseat to logic, where routines are fine-tuned to perfection, and where every interaction serves a greater purpose, may seem cold to some. But it is in this very detachment that their strength lies. For the Sigma male, it's not about becoming a machine, but about creating a life of clarity, efficiency, and control. In the end, their robotic nature isn't a flaw, it's a different way of being. It's a commitment to self-mastery and an unwavering focus on their goals. And while this may not always resonate with those who value warmth and spontaneity, it's precisely what makes them stand out in a world full of emotional noise and chaotic interactions. The Sigma male may seem like a machine at times, but in reality, they are one of the most finely tuned systems in existence, driven not by programming, but by purpose. If you found these insights into the Sigma male intriguing, make sure to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you'll join a community that's all about diving deep into the traits, behaviors, and mindsets that make people truly exceptional. We're here to explore the nuances that set individuals apart, just like the Sigma male. So don't miss out on more thought-provoking content that will keep you coming back for more. Subscribe now and stay ahead of the curve.